Hi everybody, Tony's right. This is going to be one of two videos coming out on the 2nd, March 2nd, 2026. Okay, well, I don't know. So this video is me going to the African American, let's read the proper title. National Museum of African American History and Culture. It's not going to be like clips of me going there. It's just going to be me talking about it because, like, I'm just not going to edit. I know I'm not going to edit that shit. So essentially, this is a museum that was okay. Like kind of officially opened in 2016. I'm looking at the about for Wikipedia. But it really took like a while for its conceptualization and the okaying and the meetings and stuff like that for it. So it is a kind of like well received museum. It was like designed by like I think a Ghanaian architecture firm. And it's like 5-ish floors of like African American heritage. It does include like diasporic also, but it's primarily African American heritage from slavery here in the U.S. And the Americas in general to like more present day. So that's kind of how it went. A local bookstore had tickets and we were supposed to go last week, but we had snow in my region, so they moved it to this week, which is a really busy week for me upcoming. And so yeah, but we went down there and it was good. I actually finished the museum in its entirety like today, if I'm like not mistaken. I think basically based on what happened, I think I finished everything because I went with a friend last year, like towards the end of last year, like fall somewhere in there, and we could not finish it. We could not finish it all the way, and so this time I was able to finish it, and that was a feat because usually a lot of people say, and I will recommend this, it's a multi-day kind of thing. Like I feel like you don't push yourself to like see it all in one day, but if you do try to push yourself to see it all in one day, I definitely would recommend coming back at some point to revisit what you saw. So for me, I was kind of revisiting the lower levels and then made it to the top levels. So I was like, whew, I'm so happy. Anyway, they have this mapping guide. This is what it looks like if you don't know, because like some people are international, so they don't know really what anything in the U.S. looks like. But this is what the building looks like. Really nice. The design is part of the Smithsonian, so they have several like museums. So they have like, what is it? American Indian. They have like they have natural science. They have like a whole bunch of like museums, and especially in DC, and then they have like satellite places throughout. So essentially, this is what it looks like in terms of So you can tell that this is just like a lot. So I think we made it to L4. Like I didn't see another thing because I'm like looking at this. I'm like 4. Yeah. So it's like a lot. So they even suggest you to be here like 2 days. They suggest it because like it's a lot. It's a lot to do. And I was telling because like one of my somebody from my university, like we went to this. They drove home. I came back on the bus with like the people, and like we were texting. Was like we couldn't even. We had to de-stress and decompress, and it wasn't like that. It was a stressful museum to go to, really, like for all of its historical kind of tellings, but that the sheer magnitude of what we saw, like just numbers of exhibits and information and stuff like that, we were like fucking fried. We both were fried. Like I was like, I told them, I was like, I couldn't even listen to music on the ride back. Like I had to just stare out the window. Like it was just, I was just like, let's just stare out the window and go from there. Like I couldn't do anything. And it took me slowly a few hours to like to like do this. Anyway, so that's kind of how I spent this past Sunday. Going there. So we went through the lower levels. The lower levels are really important if you want to know African American history. I think people think they know a lot of African American history until you actually look into African American history, even African Americans, because it varies so much by region. And then time periods, things shift. Like, it's a lot. So many cultural movements, so many moving parts, so many different parties at play when it comes to slavery and stuff like that. So it was like a lot to kind of go through. So me and the other person from my program, we are like writers. So they're more memoirish, maybe like leaning into fiction, but definitely prose. And I'm into poetry with a little bit of prose through like nano, micro, short fiction. So we were also looking at the art and kind of taking in the information, but we were also looking for bits and pieces to kind of inspire our own works and what to take away and how to formulate this in our minds. So that was like more work kind of doing. We didn't have to do it, but like I think we're writers, so it's like we are taking in a lot of information all the time anyway, and they just so happen to be just like hyper loaded with material. So I was considering material. We were talking about writing and history and just like side projects and things like that that we have that are interesting to us for our heritage. And it was just like a really cool like day. So yeah, I'm going to show you a little bit of what I got because there's only 4 things. But I definitely need to go back because I'm going to go back with my friend so we can wrap it up together. Because we went and we couldn't finish it the first time. So yeah. The first thing I'm going to do is show you this book, which is Women of the Harlem Renaissance, Poems and Stories, edited by Marissa Constantino, I want to say. So this is the book that I got. It's like it's slightly shorter than my actual hand that has wonky fingers, but that's what it looks like. Inside is really, really lovely. And it's women from the Harlem Renaissance that I personally, some of them I've never like heard of, or like maybe I've heard of them but I can't remember them, and so they're like short stories from them, and it's quite a few. Like for this size book, it's like almost 200 pages for this size, so that's what it looks like. And so we have a mix of like poetry and like short story, short fiction, microfiction or something. Well, maybe microfiction, maybe like short stories. So I got this book. There is a book that I wanted to get called Jazz. We went to the cafe, and that cafe is expensive. It's good, but it's expensive. And I wish I had moved around a little bit so I could get the sides and then like a lighter meat, because I got like pulled like pork and I couldn't finish it all, and I was just like dying inside because I could not finish. And they gave me like, the lady was like, "Hoo-ah," like gave me this big ass helping. It was like, "Hoo-ah," onto the plate, and I'm like, bro, like I can't eat this all. And she was just looking at me, and I'm looking at her like, is she gonna take some off? Like, but like, yeah, I couldn't eat it all. It was good. Like the mac and cheese was good, the greens were good, but it was expensive. So be prepared to spend money if you go to the cafe, but I think it is worth it. It's good. I will. It's good. Some people have said, no, it's not. It's actually good. I just think you're in a museum and you're paying museum prices for things, which is like for all of these things that I'm showing you. So yeah, but this is a book that I got. So there we go. Next up is this set of 10. So it's the artwork from the Gee's Bend quilts. So they made a stamp collection at some point in the US. So they made it in 2006. So these quilt designs were made between the 1940s and 2001. And they came into the art world kind of by storm a little bit because people were very surprised at how artistic these quilts were, given that they were not done by professional artists, and given that this community is relatively isolated, but that this quilting design, it stuck and it looks really great, and this is just what they look like. So I decided to get postcards of that because I also like ekphrastic poetry and I like looking at stuff like this. So yeah, there's that. I got myself a magnet from Gee's Bend. So I got this one. And I really like it because I like the neutral, I kind of like the more neutral, cool look on it. And that I kind of prefer that to the other one. The other one wasn't bad. It was just, I prefer this one to the other one. And I might still get the other one, but yeah, I prefer this. So got this magnet. That was cool. And then lastly, such a wild pick for me is that I got some seeds of wild bergamot, the herb. And so from a farm called Ujamaa, which is like, I think a local Maryland farm. Yep, it's a Maryland farm. So they sell seeds on their website, and I've never gotten any, but I wanted to get some from them or just explore more Black-owned farms and stuff like that. But when I saw these, I was like, cool, I'll get this because I really didn't want onion or anything like that. And I like bergamot because I think bergamot is what's in Earl Grey tea. Yeah, but I mean, it's not necessarily the same, but I kind of was like, close enough. So I actually wanted to explore this and see if I like growing it. And it's a part of the mint family, apparently. And yeah, so I just decided to get these. I'm also trying to see if I can grow some shit this year. I managed to grow something last year, but I didn't take it out the pot in time. I managed to grow lettuces, which was very interesting, but they're pretty easy to grow. And then I grew bok choy, which was kind of funny to me. Again, I kind of just left it out there. Fuck that. But yeah, so that's everything that I got. I recommend going to the museum if you are in the US, DC, which is the capital of the US. Just so you know, it's not Washington State. It's not in Washington State. It's on the East Coast. Washington State is on the West. And I would recommend taking like a weekend trip and dividing it up and taking your time and like going to the museum and then like maybe walking around to other museums or walking or, you know, taking the metro or the bus or the tours or whatever around, because there's like so much stuff going on. It's like the Capitol building, not too far. It's like a whole bunch of Washington, like monument, like it's a bunch of stuff. Lincoln, his thing is there. Like it's so much shit around there in DC. Like it's a lot going on. I think people just think, I don't know, the U.S., I don't know, people are just very anti-American in this season. But there's like a lot going on here, and there's a lot of cool things going on in the U.S. But who am I? I'm some bitch on the internet. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.